Thargos, and today we've got this awesome miniature pre-production resin, and this I believe is Sordven-Zass, Spider Darkened Slayer. I don't know why I'm starting with such a intricate, detailed miniature, but we'll see how it goes. So as always, we're going to be using Citadel Contrast paints, and I'll also open up, if I can get it open. I'll also open up the chat so I can see that if there's anyone on, so we can chat about Heroes of Thargos or painting and all those in between. So there we go, awesome. So as always, I'm going to start with light colours and then move through to the more darker colours. So the skin is this real pale, kind of slightly purplish, off-white, I would say. So we're definitely going to do a little bit of a mix. So I'll bring this in close, and we're going to do that all over the skin. So I think for this, quite a good one to do would be the Magos Purple. We're obviously going to thin that down with some contrast medium. I think I'm also going to chuck in some Apothecary White. So a little bit of a mix up here as we try to make this really off-white, as it were, okay? Hello. So let's start with some Apothecary White. That's a staple of the contrast world, essential paint, I would say, if you're doing any painting. We'll use about that much of the white. I haven't painted for a while. Oh man. Right, I'm going to rearrange this because that's better. It's this tall miniature, that's why I keep knocking over. Okay, we'll go in with a little bit of Magos Purple now, okay? Just to get that tinge. So I don't want much, just a little bit. That might not be enough. No, that should be enough. Yep, that's it. So I've got that tinge now. I don't know if I'm going to use the contrast medium, actually. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to go straight in with this. We're not going to use the contrast medium. I don't think we need it as we go over our kind of darken spider darken, which is a bit like a drow, I guess, in classic high fantasy. Now, I don't know what the scale of these are, but they're not massive, so just gonna have a look and see how we go. As with always, the contrast paints will dry lighter. As we go in and get the skin tone done first. Now, obviously, most of this is just aesthetic at the moment, but it will. Oh, hold on a sec. So that's actually a top there, I think. Maybe not. Just trying to look where the detail would go there. I think there's a back there. Yeah, there is. Back there. There we go. Awesome. You tell what, I'm gonna go small on my paintbrush because these are pretty small scale miniatures. So let's have a look. Got some kind of. This is a light tone, so I'll be fine to kind of go over it with the darker tone colours. So I'm not too fussed if I go over bits that I don't actually want to go over. I'll rather catch all bits I want covered rather than miss bits out. I'll give it a nice, slightly purple tinge anyway, so that'd be pretty cool. There is a scar there. So I don't know if anyone is on the chat, but be interested to know if you've got Heroes of Thargos, if you started painting them up. Some amazing, obviously some amazing painted versions on the site, which is great to go and have a look at. But I'm going to go for a relatively quick version here. So much still on the painting table to do. It's pretty crazy. And as always, I just love the result from Citadel Contrast paints. I think they're absolutely superb. Okay. It's weird. Is that a boot or? Yeah, I'm gonna go those grey. So I think that's the skin tone. Just the other hand. As we move around the miniature. Awesome. So that's the skin tone done. So now we move on to the next part. So I think it makes sense to just go straight in with the hair. Two ways of doing this. There's a white streak in the art. If we have a little look, we've got this white streak, which I really like, so I want to keep that in. And then we've got this red kind of auburn colour. So to get the red auburn colour, I'm going to use a mix of Contrast Blood Angels Red and Aggaros Dunes. Okay. So give those a mix up. And then we will spin this around. And we'll go Aggaros Dunes first. A bigger brush to just do the mix. Okay. Nice. And not, you know, a decent, I'd say about a third of the red paint compared to the brown should do it. I want it to be a pretty, it is a pretty distinct red colour. That looks good. And I think we will might as well use up. So that, well, is that too brown? No, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, might as well use the paint that's on this brush. And then we'll go to the smaller brush again to do the paint. Okay. So we're looking at, I might need to zoom in a little bit more actually, but it's a pretty small scale, smaller than I'm used to, but nice. Bit like Lord of the Rings scale really, in terms of miniatures. I'm not sure if they're going to be the scale for production miniature style, or whether this is just pre-production resin at this scale. Making sure not to get the ears. Okay, so go in there. It's a little bit fiddly. I'm just very wary of, because it's pretty strong pigment, this paint. Okay. we go. I'm going to do the white hair streak afterwards, actually. There we go. Cool. So we've got the hair done. I just need to check something on that. I've run out of kitchen roll, that's why I'm using tissue paper. So we've got the hair done. I just wanted to check volume was working. Okay, next, I think we're going to do some greys. Going to get some greys going. This kind of like a sash, this flowing sash, which is really prominent. Sorry, this sash which is really prominent. I'm thinking possibly like a grey as well, quite monotone. I mean, if we look at this, she's all kind of slightly blue grey. I might do several coats of Gryph-charger Grey. Now this is a light blue grey. I really like it as a colour. I think it's a superb colour to paint with. So let's have a go at using this. And if we use a few coats, then it'll look pretty good, hopefully. But I think it'll tie in quite well with the palette of the character. They kind of darken as they were. Again, I need to read up a bit more about the lore, the world that Chris has made for this game. Because the darken, maybe they are similar to the drow. They live underground, and that's why they've got their skin pigments and so forth. I don't know. But contrast paints, really love using them. It's so simple to use. By the way, this has been primed with Wraithbone spray, as usually. And don't be afraid to let the paint do all the work. Okay, right. So that's really the sash. Then I think to be honest, most of the rest is going to be kind of greys. So this is perhaps an easier version, I guess. And our classic Basilicanum Grey, the grey for Citadel Contrast range. Absolute central piece. Want to do stone? I mean, I'm looking at this pillar. Probably going to go in with that, or I'm not sure. Yeah, probably going to go in with that. So I think we're just going to do the whole boots in this. And hopefully you'll see with this how easy it is to get painting. I mean, of course you've got to practice brush control, as with anything. Make sure you got reference art if you're doing it that way. But effectively, the great thing about contrast, as always, is immediate results, which is really satisfying. Of course, if you're doing traditional paints, you have to go through that phase first before you get to the final product. Actually, I don't think I am going to do that pillar grey. I might try a little bit of marble, I guess. Now the Gryph-charger probably not dry yet, but it should be okay. Both grey at the end of the day. Okay, going around here and on the inside. That's different. Okay, so that's that bit, and then we go for the top. Same. And again, the contrast paint will pick up all of those details. So you don't need to. I'm now seeing the shape patterns. These are pretty small scale. This is pretty fiddly. Okay, sorry, I'm just concentrating there. Okay. Cool. I'll do the same for the shorts or whatever they are. And you know, you want to kind of, I suppose, do slight justice to the artwork. Oops, it might be a bit over, but that's fine. What's that? That's a, don't know, kind of like a something. Okay, I think. Oh, right, okay, I need to tilt to get out of the way of the camera. Cool, let's keep going. So now we'll probably do all the armor grey as well. I mean, it's a little bit monotone, but I think it works for the miniature. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want. It's your miniature, it's your painting. You don't have to follow the art of the cards or anything like that. That's the beauty of painting. It is a creative expression, so go for what you want. I mean, they have done the miniatures in the poses of the art in the most instance. So this is the only, I would say this is the one that's the least like, certainly the pose of her, as long as I've got the right character, of course, which I assume I have. As we move around these armor, I might do something different for the kind of strapping, as it were. Yeah, I might go black for the strapping, actually. I want a bit over the leg here, you see. Not too happy about that, but okay. She's certainly getting there. Right, okay. So I would say that's the greys. I think I'm going to go in with the Black Templar now for the straps. The Black Templar. Here we go. So Black Templar, again, an absolute staple for contrast paints. It's great. It's so hard. You kind of have to go with greys and then ideally and then kind of shade with blacks and so forth if you're using normal paints, especially for it's kind of like fast painting. But this does it all for you again, and it should be a big enough difference against the grey to make you know, a big difference, or a noticeable difference, I should say. Strap there, and this is a strap there. Okay. And there's some there. Just find all the bits. I mean, you can always come back, of course, and especially when you're using the pure paints. But even the mixed paints will last quite a while before it completely dries out. And then I think we'll do straps. Okay, and then we'll move on from that around the arm. Trying my best to avoid any skin. Right, some straps there as well. Cool. Looking good. Pretty chuffed with that. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's one of those spikes on a rope, right? That you fling forward. Okay, cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll put some black into there. Get some contrast. And we also need to put the black in between the pouches. Sorry, I know it's off screen, just to get the black in there. Okay. Awesome. Apart from that, I think I might just bring that up. There we go. Let's go. Yep. So she's getting that. I'm not really sure what that's on her neck. Oh, is her neck? Maybe. I don't know. What's that there? It looks like it's sticking out a bit. I think is that neck? Not sure. Okay, that's metal. Let's get rope color. So I think for rope, either Skeleton Horde or Aggaros Dunes. I think I'm going to use Aggaros Dunes. Just pure Aggaros Dunes. which will actually give it a slight different color contrast to a lot of the greys and the browns. I mean, her hair is striking, which is exactly what I wanted. It's like the art. We wanted that to be pretty striking red in the art. Now you notice I'm leaving. Oh, I've missed a strap. So we can just go straight back. Back with Black Templar. Forgot one strap. Reminds me I need to get a new brush, really. Another one of these. So Winsor Newton Series 7. I love these brushes. Oh, that's a bit... should that... yeah. Okay. Right, how are we going to do... The question is... This pillar, I think we're just going to go in with our... Mind you, if I go in with Gryph-charger Grey, it's just going to look like that. So let's go in with the Apothecary White. Let's try and do a marble effect. I'm not confident how this is going to look, but we'll give it a go. Apothecary White is such a great paint. Right, let's get the bigger brush. More area to cover now. Just trying to think the easiest way to make veins. I mean, there are tutorials on a lot of them, though. To get really good marble effects, use spray guns. And I do have one, but I haven't really used it. And I haven't got the ventilation system in the house, so I don't really want to use it at the moment. Okay. Cool. So we'll let that white dry. And it should, well, it'll certainly give the idea of like if nothing else, limestone or something like that. So it'll look different to the greys of our character. So almost make them stand out. Now, one thing to note is because of using the Wraithbone spray, it does make the colours pretty vivid and bright. I like that. I like that in the miniatures that I paint. But if you don't like that, you can spray it with a darker tone. So Grey Sea is pretty good from Citadel, or just any old grey will be sufficient. Right, I think we need to get some... Oh, hang on. Just noticed. Got some kind of... Let's do that metal. So for metal work, I just switch brushes. This is for metal work. I use lead belcher. So it's a base paint, not a contrast paint. But it just gives such a great result every time. So yes, it's all contrast paints normally, with the exception of my metallics. And this is just a go-to now. So get some nice lead belcher. Because it's not a contrast paint, you need a little bit of water to thin it down, or else your normal acrylic paints just won't flow. And then you're good to go. Now, don't worry, we are going to use probably Nuln Oil. I might use Basilicanum Grey works quite well over the lead belcher. That's another really good use of contrast paints, is painting them over lead belcher to give different colour metallics. So I will do that with the hilt of this dagger. Okay, now we want to get a little bit of paint on this brush, and we need to do some detail. So, are we in shot? Pretty much. They haven't got any paint on that. Doesn't seem to be. I mean, the first one I just overdid. I think we need to thin this down a little bit and get actually some paint on my brush. Come on, shake. Ooh. I think it's on. Just didn't seem it. Oh yeah, I've definitely been putting it on. Whoops. Perhaps too much. What we got here? These are tiny little dots. Okay. This massive buckle. Massive in comparison to the rest of the miniature, but not massive because the miniature is pretty small. Oh yeah, I haven't done the that's the point. I've not done the pouches yet. Probably going to go in with some snakebite leather for those. Or Cygor or something. We've still got no one on the chat there. It's fine. Yeah, the video will save, so people can go and watch it on YouTube if they're interested. That tends to be what happens. Okay. I definitely think the metalwork is always the longer part, but when you get the results of the metallic, it is worth it in the end. Okay, still going through. Cool, over that. Now, is that got metal? I'm not really sure what's going on there. Put metal here. I don't know if that is metal, but we'll say it is. It's a bit of that. So just getting these metallic details in now. Overkill, wasn't it? There we go. Got to get some more. God, there's small detail here. Sorry, I just realised I was rotating that out of shot there. I think I'm pretty okay with... oh, apart from that, we'll touch that up in a second. Okay, so we've done the lead belcher now. So now we move on to sorting that out now, actually. So a little bit of Wraithbone base. So if you make mistakes, you need to kind of like reapply the prime to get it well. I don't want this paintbrush. Let's a little bit of this. Have I got any left? There you go. Actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to do this bit here. Oh man, did I just slip? Looks better. Clean up this edge. Not happy with that edge at all, actually. That's better. Now, what we can do while we've got the white, I mean, if you want, I'm not going to, but if you wanted to, you could highlight and so forth. This, which I've now got very much white, I'm just going to go back over with, I've got some of the paint here for the skin tone. We're just going to thin it down with a little bit of contrast medium before we paint it on, okay? Or what about a hat? I would say, yeah, I'd say that's a metal brooch or something like that. So cool. Right, let's get these patches done. So I think we're going with, I just feel like snakebite leather will be just a bit too bright. So actually I want to go full dark. That's what I'm going with this. So for that we will need some Cygor Brown, really deep dark kind of red tinged brown, which should work really well for these pouches. And not being scared of using the paint here as well. Okay. So she's pretty much coming along now. Yeah, I'm going to be using Nuln Oil for parts of it, and maybe some different colours. Let's mix it up a little bit, get some different colours in there. Right, should we do? I reckon that white's now dry, so a bit of contrast medium. Basically, the water is how you would use water with normal paints. If you use normal water with contrast paints, I find that they lose their contrast ability a little bit. So just be a little bit wary of that. And then we'll go in here with that purple, and then it's the leg, wasn't it? There we go. That's it. That's all we're doing. Maybe up there actually. Don't think I've got much in there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think we'll go straight on to, actually, while I've got the Wraithbone base out, let's do the streak in her hair. I really need to get another one of these Wraithbone bases. I've not got a lot, tons of paint left in it. Right. So we'll do this streak here. Which cuts into That's it. And then we'll have it come out here. There we go. Cool, we've got a white streak now. Now this sash, I don't want to change it actually. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm okay with that. I do like the vibrant colours. I do have to admit, if you look at my Solomon Kane's miniatures, they're all very vibrant. Right, okie dokie. So next we move on to this Nuln Oil, which I have to get, excuse me for a second. Oh dear. Should have planned that one out ahead of time. Okay. So, Nuln Oil is a shade, so a really good one to use on metals, for silver metals, that is, which is what we're going to use on this one. So definitely going to hit these, and it gives, obviously it just dulls down the metal so it doesn't look like plastic, like, you know, plastic silver. Gives it some contrast basically. And to be honest, I might actually I'm going to put the oil on the rope as well, because that rope is way too light. Now you can mix up, you can put like Basilicanum Grey over it or whatever you want, but that'll be a bit too strong, I think. And I think I might just chuck some Nuln Oil all over these. Wouldn't hurt to dull them down a little bit as well. Okay, right, so boot ones can get a little bit of a pass over with that as well. So I'm going to go slightly different colours for the other parts of the metal. So this blade, you know, I'll go with the blade as well. So the blade itself can have a bit of a shade. But then we want the handle to be slightly different. I want this brooch to be copper, I think. And we'll go for copper in the hair as well. So for copper, I find just using an orange contrast paint really works well. So Gryph Hound Orange is what I'm going to use. Less than 1 minute. Huh. It seems like it's working, I hope. Right, so if we go in here, you'll see, to match a kind of red hair, I want to take off some of the paint. And the metal will come through, the metallic will come through from that. Same here, red hair. Okay, so you get a little bit of a difference. There we go. By the way, if you want gold, a really easy way is just use Ayandan yellow over metal. In fact, I'll show you that with the hilt. So a bit of Ayandan yellow, good old shake for the pigment to get round. Not too much paint on the brush this time. And then you just go around the metal that you put down. And I really like this gold effect. Number one, it's using contrast, so you're going to get a bit of contrast happening anyway, which is kind of like what you want, right? There we go. Oh, sorry. There we go. That's the golden hilt. Right. I don't think I'm going to do all the spider details. I think it will just ruin the miniature for me. You know, I think she looks pretty badass, pretty cool as she is. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how she is looking, with a white streak as well. So on the base, I'm going to show you now another thing, which is a technical paint from Citadel Colour, and it's Agrelian Badland, and it's basically a mix of sand and PVA glue. So for basing, it's a cheat basically. It is a cheat. So let me get a paintbrush that's not awful. That'll do, I think, maybe. Yeah, that'll do. So I've got a pretty rubbish brush, and if I open this up, I flick it everywhere. Oh dear. So it's kind of like a cement, I suppose, is the best way to think of it. So you've got all the kind of basing materials that you use, but with a paint. So when you chuck this onto the base, it gives, and it kind of dries and it cracks, so it looks like mud. It's brilliant. I use it for pretty much basing everything. Now you could go in with a bit of sand here to kind of show gravel, I suppose, because you've got a massive pillar, haven't you? So I guess that would kind of make sense. You do a bit of mix of both, but this gives just a really good mud-coloured base to start with, and then you just build on that with some static grass. I always shade it as well, but this looks like a ruin, right? So I'll treat it as so. Cool. Okay. Here we go. Right. What about the facial details? I think that might be the next one. We're on 45 minutes. Yeah, facial detail. Now we could. I don't want to ruin it. I think we're just gonna do the kind of the basics. I think. Is that my brush? That is my best brush. Yeah, I really need to get a new one of these brushes. This is not looking great. Okay, right. Let's go in with to start with. Yeah. Let's go in with some Black Templar. That's going to go around the eyes, and I think the lips. Oops, sorry, tap the thing there. Yep, still playing. Cool. Yep, eyes and lips. Oh, that's a bit Joker. That's too much. That's too much. We might be able to grab that out just before it dries, actually. I'm not happy with that. I went way too far. Sometimes it helps to actually use the camera to help with that. I actually want it darker than that. That's better. That's much better. Okay, I think that's better. Yep, that's much better. Okay. Well, she doesn't actually have eyebrows, so we'll leave that dark shadows. And then we're going to get some whites into those eyes, because if we have a little look at the art, at the art again, That's what we're really seeing, right? I know she hasn't got a black mouth, and she's got all of this detail. I'm not doing that. Right, while we're waiting for that black to dry, you see this pillar? I'm going to put a bit of brown onto it. A really great wash, as well as Nuln Oil, is Agrax Earthshade. Again, an absolute classic shade from Citadel. And I'm just gonna just bring up some kind of like mud details, just tiny amounts of it, just to give an accent of, especially in that bit there, an accent of that this is, you know, a ruin, as it were. I mean, even that much will just give a little bit of difference to it. I think we'll hit in with a bit of Nuln Oil as well. Same thing, just to give it a little bit of variance. Trying not to get that basing technical. I should wait for that to dry really on this brush, because that will ruin it. I don't particularly want PVA glue on my brush. Even this brush has kind of had it. Okay. Let's put some at the top. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, that's too much. There we go. Okay, so just to give a little bit of variance in that pillar, so it doesn't just look like a monotone kind of color. Okay. Right, should we get those whites of the eyes done? So back with Wrathbone base. There it is. And what are we on? We're on 53 minutes. Can we do the vast majority of this in an hour? Usually a miniature takes 45 minutes to an hour, so this is pretty much as usual. Okay, right. I'm going to try and get a point on this brush. That looks good. There we go, I think. Nice. Okay, I think, to be honest, completely honest, we have to get some grass on that base and stuff. But is that hair? No, that's a strap. All right, okay. I've just seen need a bit of strap doing around the neck. And it really helps to look at the video, because sometimes you catch stuff with the video that you won't catch with eye, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's get that last bit done. So trying to look. There it is. Okay, cool. Better. See that brass color now and the gold. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Again, not going to win it. I'm not going for any competitions with this. I just want it to look really, to kind of pop on the table and be fine for a tabletop standard. Now, this base and stuff will take a while to dry. A bit PVA and stuff, so I'm not going to be able to finish that on this video. What I would do with this is grab this Agrax Earthshade back, wash it with that, then get some PVA glue, put little dollops of PVA glue around it, get the static grass on it, or the just normal grass. I just put it in the little tub, pick it up, and then tap it all off, and then she'll be done. There we go then. So that was Sordven-Zass which was one of my characters, and she was one of, in my playthrough of the story mode, she was one of the characters that got captured. Oh, spoiler, sorry. Well, hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you were watching on live, I will probably do some more painting live streams. I've got some Solomon Kane to paint up, of course. I've got Stars of Aggaros coming out very soon. Hopefully that'll be coming in the next few weeks. I'm painting up some ships, so that'll be cool. And then we've got some more miniatures of these as well. I kind of want to do the classic Spartan guy as well. So I think we might give him a go next on the agenda. But then they're so cool miniatures. I mean, this guy as well, so cool, and this guy got a muscle tone on that guy. It's quality. Right, cool. Anyway, that was painting with Citadel Contrast paints again. It was good to get back onto the painting table again. And this is the result. It's real time, obviously, as all my videos are. Real time, 56 minutes. Yeah, I've got a bit of basing to do, and then literally just get some black paint, go around the base, and shield will be complete. But yeah, awesome miniature. Such a cool dynamic pose. It's going to look great on the table. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. If you could catch us a bit later, and stay tuned for more painting and more gameplay of board games. Heroes of Thargos, obviously, at the moment, which is my new shiny. But there will be other stuff as well. As I mentioned, Stars of Aggaros will certainly be making its way onto the live stream as well as some Solomon Kane painting, and Joan of Arc as well. I've got Joan of Arc to be painting up as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, keep painting and keep gaming.